Oh, Google's shutting down Stadia. That's right. That's news as of today. That's brand new, breaking news. You're probably going to get this clip out ASAP, I would assume.
Yeah.
If I was a guy like you with a job like this, I would probably get that out.
Yeah.
Shutting down Stadia.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Finish talking. I want to get this clip.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Oh, man. I had high hopes for Stadia, like, early on. Google streaming. I actually even played. I'm going to move around a lot today, all right, Will?
Sure.
So you better be ready for my... I could go all the way over
Don't
here.
do that.
No, listen.
Don't do that.
Listen, man.
I'm a one-man show here.
I was playing
Production team.
Cyberpunk on Stadia for like 15 minutes or half an hour or something.
When it was super buggy. When it first launched.
It was buggy
right?
on consoles and elsewhere, but on Stadia it was smooth sailing,
Yeah.
which was cool. And everyone was pumped for this Hot Wheels game coming up over here. Game of the Year edition. I don't know, man. Game streaming. I love the idea. You want to see it happen in one way or another. You want to see gaming become more like how we consume other content.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know what the complications, difficulty. You know, in the case of Stadia, they were going to make games. They were looking at buying studios, and then they're like, what are we thinking? This stuff is hard. And they're like, games are hard. They just put it away, and then there were whisperings going on, which now led to this, the official shutdown and refunds for people as well. So if you have quite a library or something, I guess you're getting a refund. We're grateful to the dedicated Stadia players that have been with us from the start. We'll be refunding all Stadia hardware purchases made through the Google Store and all game and add-on content purchases made through the Stadia Store. Players will continue to have access to their games library and play through January 18th, so after the holidays, so they can complete final play sessions. We expect to have the majority of refunds completed by mid-January 2023. More details for players on the process on our help center. The underlying technology platform that powers Stadia has been proven at scale and transcends gaming. We see clear opportunities to apply this technology across other parts of Google, like YouTube, Google Play, and our augmented reality efforts. Yeah, do they just bring games to YouTube? Does it just become a section of YouTube based on this technology?
Yeah, they should.
Netflix is all about games, and maybe everything should just be under one umbrella. You log in to watch your favorite videos. You log in to watch Lou Later, and they're like, hey, play this game.
The Lou Later game? I remember like a concept way back when they first announced Stadia where it's like you watch the Assassin's Creed trailer and then you play it on YouTube.
And you start right away without loading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be a thing.
There was all types of fun possibilities here, Will. All types of potential. And it just didn't go that way. You had the controller. I remember playing with some early Google prototypes back in I.O. days when I was going over to San Francisco. Feel like a lifetime ago. I was going over there.
With Google Glass?
I was going over there.
Yeah.
I was...
when you were a hot shot?
I might have been a hot shot. I landed in the airport over there.
Yeah.
I got the sushi over there. I had the Thai food over there.
Delicious.
I had a spicy one.
Okay.
And then I had I can't even remember what type of beer it was, because it was also a Thai beer, famous Thai beer I was having with that.
Okay.
And then I went to their events, and I got my hands on this thing, and it might have been, you know what it was?
Huh?
Do you want to know what it was? It was that one right there.
Yeah,
Singha.
this one's very...
Yeah, it was that one right there. That's what I was
popular.
drinking. Or you know what? I might have been drinking the Tiger one, or that might be at the local Thai place. I can't keep it together.
Okay, yeah.
What I'm drinking over
They're
here.
all delicious.
But I'm a proponent when you go to those type of restaurants, like a restaurant with food from a different part of the world. You got to also have the beer from a different part of the world.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So, don't get me started. Don't get me started on this guy right here. The Korean beer Max all malt beer. Yeah. I like the guy on the left by the name of Max Beer. You see this?
Uh-huh.
You didn't expect to find that when you got your Googling going.
Yeah.
When you got Google and you didn't expect that to happen.
Is he the creator of Max?
No, he's not the creator of Max. Come on, this guy.
Okay.
A journalist, Marxist, journalist, economist, and historian. Beer is most remembered as an early writer on the topic of imperialism.
Oh, okay.
Well, listen.
All right.
You can tell.
Let's not go there.
We're going there. Let's go. That's the whole. There's another athlete by the name of Max Beer who was a long-distance runner. People didn't know that.
Okay.
And you also have an Austrian, Max Joseph Beer, who was a composer. So listen, well, you never know what you're going to find out on this show, but I do every so often. I go out to San Francisco. I have a little bit of food.
Okay.
And sometimes I go to a Google I.O., and sometimes I get my hands on the early prototype. And then sometimes Google gets mad at me about that. They say, what are you doing with all this?
Yeah. Don't do that.
So, but the one thing about Google, and I know we're all lamenting the situation with Stadia. One thing about Google, they've never been bothered putting things to rest. KilledByGoogle.com actually has a wonderful 274 items on this page.
Man, they did not wait for Stadia.
They did not wait for Stadia to be flushed in 4 months, January 2023. Google Stadia was a cloud gaming service combining a Wi-Fi gaming controller and allowed users to stream gameplay through web browsers, TV, mobile apps, and Chromecast. 3 years old upon the time of death. You can see Google Hangouts, Google Currents. I remember that. Wow. YouTube Originals, obviously, YouTube Go. So many things have come and gone, and yeah, Google is not apprehensive about what's Google Plus. Remember Google Plus?
Oh, yeah. The Facebook killer.
They've never been worried about putting things down when it's not working out. They put it down.
Yeah.
And that's what they did over here. I think the crappy part here is that gaming is one of those areas where there's been consolidation. And I mean, some of this with studios, but also with hardware and exclusives and everything else. And there is a feeling you get where it's so big and so hard that maybe in the future it's dominated by only a couple of players.
Yeah.
And so when you had this variety and you're like, oh, they're going to have a studio too, and whatever. Google's a huge company, so it's hard to feel all that bad about it, but more players in the space, sometimes the consumer wins in those scenarios.
Yeah. And Google
often the consumer wins in those scenarios.
I guess they have a bunch of money, but they still got to pick their battles, right?
They got to pick their battles. And like I said, this might get consolidated into something else, but by a different name,
Sure.
and the technology shows up in some other place. But I get curious about this stuff. You get the likes of Microsoft and Sony and Amazon and Netflix and
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA's in the streaming. They're doing the streaming.
The cloud gaming.
So I'm not sure where we're at in 2022 because I haven't goofed with it in a while, but I had some good experiences on Stadia, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So
Pour one out.
I might have to pour one out. You know,